I'm gone.
Research complete.
Group C Tiebreakers Set 2. This time, it's personal. Fantasy's looking over at Calm like, what'd you say about my mama? Okay, but yes, we're on to a ZVT now, and Calm looking at me, he's focused, he knows he's one step away from moving into the round of 8. Just one good, strong play against Fantasy, and he'll be able to move up. Join his Zerg brother Zero, so we get some more Zerg representation in the round of 8. So far, we only have one. Have a whole lot of Terran players, a couple of Protoss, and one single Zerg. Zero sitting by himself in the corner. So see if we can get some more representing. Except, so down at the 8 o'clock position in orange is Calm, scouting into the middle. And up at the 10 o'clock position in teal, I think, is Fantasy. Let's see what wacky, silly, sometimes stupid build that Fantasy can come up with. He's gone for Valconic twice in this OSL so far. Twice? Was it twice? Yes, it was twice against Zero and Calm. I was trying to think, was there a second Zerg? Of course there was. Zero and Calm, he went for Valconic against both of them and completely belly flopped. So I'm thinking it's time for Fantasy to come up with a different strategy. Come up with some even more innovative play, because that's what he's good at. He's good at coming up with very innovative play that actually works and throws off the other player. Valconic, I think, is getting a little bit predictable. Zerg players know that they can pretty much exploit lurkers to take down that build. That build does not come with a lot of scan, and it doesn't really come with science vessels very early. So Fantasy, he would have a hard time dealing with lurkers if he went for Valconic again on this map. It's hard to find a way to harass bases with that map. Hey, commentators in the audience. Hey, why aren't they commentating? Not exactly sure. Hello now, Raw and Kingdom, two very ancient, I guess not ancient, but old greats Protoss players. Okay, here comes the drone out. We're going to see a pretty standard 12 hatch for Calm. He's going to be able to get that up undisputed while Fantasy is walling off into his natural expansion. And oh, of course, the refinery coming up already for Fantasy. So he at least wants to open up with Vultures, I think. He always tries to get the Vultures as quickly as possible against any race, really. Because that is his strength. I can't say I blame him. Exploiting your strength is the best thing to do. Gotta go with the build that plays to your strengths. So he's most likely going to try to get that initial Vulture in to pick off some drones. And wherever he branches off from there, your guess is as good as mine. He might go for Valconic again, but I think it's a little bit unlikely after the 2 sets where he absolutely failed. SCV getting a little bit glitchy. And dancing with the drone. Interspecies mingling. Not so sure about that, guys. But Fantasy going up, he scouts. He actually scouted the natural expansion up there and saw that there was no expo coming up. So he moves on with his other troops. There's a factory coming up right at the natural expansion, and Calm was not able to sneak in. There is a hole in that wall, a very small hole, and Fantasy's wall off inside of his natural. But he can pretty much block that with that Marine, and that should keep the drone out for a long period of time. But Calm is going to see this with his Overlord. And he also saw that the barracks was not pumping any more Marines. So that's going to give him even more information about what's coming his way. Mech build, or at least a mech opening from Fantasy. A third hatchery coming up for Calm. And no building out yet. I didn't see the Hydralisk Den coming up yet. So maybe he's thinking about doing something else to respond to this mech. And he actually didn't go up to see the factory. Of course, I don't think he suspects that it's at the natural expansion anyway. He was just going down there to see if there was a base plopping up for Fantasy. He doesn't see it. And let's see what he does here. It could be going for Mutalisk after all, but the Mutalisks aren't going to help very much if the Vulture can sneak by the Sunken Colony at the front. I'm pretty sure the Shine is put down as Sunken. If he didn't, this could be absolutely suicidally horrible for him. Yeah, he did put down one Sunken, but he's going to have to play a little bit careful because Fantasy is not shy about sneaking by a Sunken, taking a couple of hits to a Vulture, and then getting into the main where he can just destroy. So, okay, Calm's first-person perspective. Let's look and see when he spots that Vulture moving in to his base, if he ever spots it moving in. He's still keeping in there with the scout. Fantasy is. So he's getting a scout on the next building that's coming up. Very, very important. The Vulture being spotted by Calm. He is getting ready. Actually, oh, nice. Across the wall snipe from that Vulture. Don't ask me how that's physically, structurally possible to shoot over the wall like that, but apparently it is. I don't question these things. And almost another drone snipe. Oh, that was so close for a drone snipe for Fantasy. He's got the magic Vulture. He can throw little Vulture things over the wall to kill drones. That was magnificent. And a single Marine there just to ward those Overlords off. Looks like the machine shop is spinning. This could be speed or it could be mines. I think it's most likely mines at this point. Just because, well, he has a couple of Vultures out. I wasn't exactly sure how many he'd pumped. But if he has 2 or 3 Vultures, I think the speed upgrade would be the best way to go because he'd be able to sneak by that pesky sunken colony and get into the main where he can cause so much damage. And getting up his armory, oh gosh, I see the academy there, I see the armory, I don't see the starport anywhere, so I don't think this is going to be volcanic at all for Fantasy. He's going for a wacky strategy again, getting his mine upgrade. If he had a few Vultures out, I think he would have definitely gone for speed and tried to sneak by Calm. Might have been able to do it. Might not have. But now he's laying mines that every place that Calm would try to expand from this point on. So he's going to try to keep Calm in 2 bases as long as possible. Just now getting up the engineering bay. And let's see if the timing pays off for Fantasy here. I think it will. The engineering bay is going to pop up at about the exact same time that Spire is. And now Fantasy has mines all over the place, has a few Vultures, just in case Calm should get a little bit overzealous, try to run out there and do some mine dragging or something like that. Fantasy is going to be prepared, and here's the Spire. So the Mutalisks are going to fend these Vultures off, so I don't think these Vultures are going to kill any more drones. The Goliath's coming out for Fantasy. He's going standard mech, it seems. Standard so far. Hard to tell what he's going to switch into, but yep. These Goliaths are going to help against the Mutas as long as he has turrets coming up. If he's building turrets, he's going to be okay. If he's not building turrets, he's pretty much screwed, I think, because this is going to be standard 3-hatch Muta. That means 9 Mutas to pop out with right at the beginning. So Fantasy, look at this Vulture micro, takes down a couple of Zerglings there. Not scouting the Mutas coming up, but he does have his turrets into position, building even more barracks. What? Building more barracks off a Goliath build. So maybe he's trying to reveal the Goliaths to Calm, make him see those Goliaths so he thinks that it's a mech build. Yeah, he upgraded Charon boosters too. But Calm actually flying over the barracks, he's thinking, okay, so he's building barracks, he has Charon boosters for his Goliath, so is this going to be Goliath or Medic Marine? So he gets out of there, and he's not going to be able to stay in there long enough to see exactly what Fantasy does. What the hell is Fantasy going to do? Is he going to go for Goliath Medic Marine like Gogo? I sure hope so. But he's at 2 bases, so it's actually quite different than Gogo's build. So Calm, he's forced back. He's not going to be able to get any kind of SCV kills, maybe a couple if he tries to sacrifice a couple of Mutas up there. But the Medic's out. This is going to be Medic Marine, Goliath, and Vultures that are still out in the field. Pretty ridiculous build, but maybe Fantasy saw how well it worked for Gogo. Did Gogo? Yeah, Gogo did it on this map too. So I guess he saw that and said, that's a pretty good strategy. Might try a different version of that. This is a little bit different version than what Gogo went for, definitely. So, yes, a Calm going to try to expand down at the 5 o'clock position, going to run into a very rude surprise. Vulture says, hello, My name is Vulture. You're dead. So Calm getting a little bit frustrated. He needs his third hatchery up soon. Well, his third base up soon. His fourth hatchery. So the Zergling running in, and Calm looks like he's going to run down with all of his troops. Actually, his mutas. He's coming down with his mutalisks to take out the Vulture, but he's going to be in for another surprise once he realizes he can't plop down the hatchery there.